How you doing, sir?
Everything's just fine. Look. These talks are about you getting your act together because that's what it is. It is an act. You're acting a part. You're not the part, but you're acting a part. But you can change the part. And that's what he's trying to tell you right now. Isn't that it?
That's it. I'm glad that you brought that up because that's been a dilemma that I've found in the community that most people don't understand that they're playing a role. And because they're playing a role, their act, as you stated, get your act together. And that probably the name of this talk, get your act together. Many people are not living in accordance to what it is that they want to manifest. So they say that they want to manifest one thing, but their thinking is taking them in a totally different direction.
Yeah, but they don't know what they want.
Yeah,
Let me tell you, if someone really knows what they want, you don't have to tell them.
true.
I mean, that's what being uh, uh, getting your act together, and that's what you need to do because Shakespeare told you perfectly. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely actors. But here's the question: did you choose the part you're playing, or was it chosen for you by the world around you? You see, it's one or the other, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we find that most of the time it's chosen by the world around us.
Yeah. Well, I did that for the first 40 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, the next 40, I changed it. But the thing of it is though, is that you're still haunted by it.
Yeah.
You see, because you were conditioned in a way that you can't quite drop it. But that's all right. When you go, they'll put rest in peace. And the reason why we're laughing is because there's no rest in peace.
Yeah.
You'll be right back on the job, and what your attitude, assumptions, and moods they go right with you.
Yeah.
So if you're not enjoying them now, you better get busy and change it, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times I think that we miss that point that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so we keep wanting to preserve the body, but of course, the body is only going to live for so long. It's spirit that's eternal.
Well, hey, what are you choosing from?
Yeah,
I mean, from what you are, you're choosing what? See, you have to have it in your mind. I am that. Your dream, your mission. You're told to dream the dream, not nightmare the nightmare. I mean, and that's what most people don't even like to go to bed and go to sleep because they're afraid they'll dream.
yeah.
I've heard stories, and I'm telling them, well, I mean, if I was you, I think I'd take up drinking. I mean, at least for a long enough time to get out of that cycle,
Yeah,
because that's all it is. It is just a cycle. And the thing of it is, everything that happens to you in a cycle. But the thing of it is, you have to get out of that cycle. Yeah, and you can do so. You're told that you can change your mind, change your world. Right there. Why wouldn't you be looking at what you would change? I mean, not more of what you're already suffering that you don't want, but if you keep thinking from it,
yeah.
you keep receiving it as you think you are. That scripture. I didn't make that up, did I?
No, no, you did not make that one up. I can assure you.
That one I like it. Catches me every once in a while. Yeah. That's why I always ask them. Usually, when they gave a talk, I used to say, "Well, I want you to listen closely." I still, I still remember that little lady, little gray-haired lady, and she said, so, "May I ask you a question?" I said, "Well, yes, ma'am." She says, "Do you speak another language?" And I go, "Well, no." She goes, "You're not doing too good with this one either." I said, okay, I can live with that. But did you like the mess? She said, oh, I love the messy. That was really, you really made it simple. And I go, that's the only way I could have given it to you because that's what I had to be to get it. And that's it. You shall become as little children.
Yeah.
You see, and you just learn, hear it and accept it and do it because you know that you heard something worthy of your attention. I mean, if you listen to any of this, you did hear something worthy of your attention. But do you still have your attention? That open it and quicken it.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That means grab onto it.
Yeah.
You see, because if you don't, it's just gone.
Yeah.
I know I lost it 1,000 times probably. Just that easy. And then you're going, oh, where was I? What was I doing? What was I doing? See, the thing of it is that you don't know what you're doing if you're not paying attention to what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Because that's your future. You are thinking ahead of your future. I'm sure everybody knows that. But do you understand it? See, I knew a lot of things, but I didn't really understand them. I mean, I know water, but I don't know what water is. I like electricity too, but I don't know what that is either. I don't think science even knows what that is. But it doesn't stop you from using it.
Yeah.
See, that's it. What was it? What the guy said? He said, "Oh, electricity doesn't care if you cook a guy or you, or you turn the lights on. You're the light of the world. Did you know that? God told you individually, you're the light of your world. In other words, as you think you are, you do, you have, you be. There it is. No respecter of persons, even if you're really a bad dude. And that would be your observation, not mine. But even if you're a bad guy, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He knew that we'd come in here and screw it all up. He knew that. I mean, after all, he sent his son, didn't he?
Yeah.
And not only that, to die with you.
Yeah.
And the way you die.
Yeah.
All of that. He's telling you that, now, right now. Look, it's always now. You do it now or you never do it. Why get more knocks and blocks in your world, as Neville would say? And I'd say, well, yeah. Well, yeah. And then forget it.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, I wouldn't even know about it probably. See, it's what you're focused. Look, when you're really focused on something, you're accomplishing something, even if it's not lovely and a good report. But the point is that you're doing what? As you think you are. That's what you're doing. If you change your thinking, you'll change what you're doing. Isn't that simple?
Absolutely. It is that simple. What I like about this message, and I think that most people miss it, it's like you listen to Neville, and Neville gives you all these techniques and so forth. This message to me is like, and I'm going to use it as a comparison. It's like Neville's message was like the Old Testament. It was like, okay, how to use all these laws and these principles and so forth. This message, as simple as it is how to use your mind to get what you want. How to, and like I said, I love the simplicity as you think you are. And Neville may have said that many times, but I think that we got so lost in his techniques that many people didn't understand that there was a work on our part, and that work is thinking appropriately to what it is that we want to manifest in our life.
But you are thinking appropriately of what?
Yeah.
Because whatever you're experiencing, that's what
Absolutely.
You were thinking of prior to your experience.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to change it, that's what you were given right off the bat. Change your mind, change your world. Don't have to talk to anyone. You don't need anyone to help you with it, because no one can help you with it anyway. That even we can't help you. We know it, but we can't help you other than telling you the message you left for yourself to awaken from this dream. And if you don't understand it yet, well, then you ain't awakened. And neither are we.
Yeah.
But because they're absolutely, there's no end to it. It goes on. I mean, every time you think you've reached a highlight, there's another one. And then there's another one. And then you get into the joy of, wow, what's next?
Yeah.
But you can experience it here and now, because that was what I learned from Neville. You can go into the future and you can bring the there and the then into the here and now and experience it first person.
Yeah.
Not off in the distance somewhere, but you can experience it right here, right now. The mind is so, I don't know, boom. It's ready to go if you're ready to go. And you have to be ready to go. I mean, you have to choose to be ready to go. You may not know how to do that, but if you choose to be, the fact that you're choosing to be will help you be. But you got to keep choosing. You got to know what you're choosing. And I'll tell you what you're choosing. What are you talking to yourself about?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're choosing. I mean, try to deny it. That's how I got into it. I tried to deny it because it sounded nothing that simple. No, because I analyze everything to dust. See, and we do that. We hear a good idea today, but by tomorrow we've already whacked it all up.
Yeah.
And then we don't even recognize it. If we even recognize it, we had a dream. And you had a dream. You're having a dream. You're in a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream right here. And you're told to dream the dream. Don't let it go. It's like you have a wonderful donut. But if you leave it sit too long, it gets stale. I mean, do it now. Grab it, eat it, chew it right here, right now, because you're going to sooner or later, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Somewhere down the line, you're going to do it. So why get all those knocks and blocks until you do? See, and Neville was trying to bring you from the Old Testament into the New Testament by expressing in the Old Testament the reason why they said it that way and showed it that way, so that if you got the essence of the stories or the messages, that you just blossom.
Yeah.
But everybody follows the battles, the people. They're not people, they're principles. And that's what you should be looking at, the principles, not as people, personalities.
Yeah.
See, that set myself free right there. Just don't judge personalities. Oh, come on. Attitude, awareness, and imaginational control, and you stroll through. Are you experiencing heaven? You know, you're told to go in the closet and close the door, and when you're alone, speak to Father. I mean, what would you do second? See, you're told you're told exactly what to do. Go in the closet, close the door, and when you're alone, you see, you're alone, yet you're with your Father. See, and then Jesus was telling you straight, I and my Father are one, even as you and I are one. And you're told that you receive not because you ask not. Why aren't you asking? But, oh yeah, I know you're asking, but you're asking amiss.
Yeah.
See, and asking amiss is that you're paying more attention to what you don't want than what you do want. But you stop wanting it and you start being it. And that's all Scripture's ever been telling you to do. Chapter after chapter, you're being told, if you listen to the story, you're being told, be it. Be what you just said was worthy of your attention. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and I love that you made mention of the asking amiss. You know, and a lot of times we go and we begin to protest what it is that we don't have, what we do want, so forth. And even that, whether we understand it or not, is a prayer. And so many of us don't realize that we're praying for asking amiss what it is that we don't want because that's our focus. I want my special person back. I want to be in this relationship. All of that is saying that I don't have. When we begin operating from a
Yeah.
place of having, we're well on our way of having that thing that we say that we desire.
The only thing I got to say now is thank you, Father.
Absolutely.
That's it. I got what I wanted. I'm
Absolutely.
here. I'm enjoying, and so should you be, because He gave it to you. That age of reason, when you actually start thinking for yourself. Did you ever do that? I mean, did you ever break over? Are you actually thinking for yourself now, or are you just living on old memories? See, just ask yourself these questions. That's all. That's all you do. You ask yourself direct questions. Am I enjoying life? The some people say, oh, just teasing yourself. Tease yourself, tease yourself, tease yourself. Come on. What do you that's the whole idea. That's what you do when you talk yourself into something. You're teasing yourself for it. You remember that thing that you used to go after all the time? Well, that was to show you how to get excited about something. And and you will get excited about it if you'll just take the time to think about it. See, you have to think from it to be it. And if you're thinking from it, you're being it. But how often are you being it and how often are you not being it? See, that's all you have to measure, because that's all you have to watch is your own inner conversations and those suggestions that you make to yourself. See, you're making suggestions to yourself all the time. See, and someone says, well, what do you mean making suggestions? See, they're asking, they don't even know what making a suggestion to yourself is.
Yeah.
They and yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Or it don't go. But now is the appointed hour of desired change, and that's what everyone's looking for, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely. That's
Well,
exactly. Yeah.
right now then.
Yeah.
He tells you right now, what do you want? Do you know? Can you say it in a few words? Most people can't.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they start talking about something in the past to come bring you up to the. No, no, no. What do you want? Just spit it out. Guys, well, how about a big wad of cash? Okay. Okay. If you want to make a mindset for that, he tells you whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that include money too?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There you go. What are you thinking about? That's all you have to ask yourself, because that's what you're doing, being and having. And if you want to change it, you have to do, be, and have something different. And that's all it is. Just change the conversation. If you would actually listen to yourself long enough to get a, a sense of, am I that? And if you say no, wouldn't it be time for change?
Yeah. Yeah.
Change your mind, change your world. Isn't that what? That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You know, you
Go ahead.
talk about changing and being, and that's the key. Every moment of the day, we're being something. Now, most of the time, we don't question what it is that we're being. But if you're being, let's say, broke, for example, then begin to, how do I become prosperous? Who do I need to be become prosperous? And you begin living from that state of prosperity. And initially, you may have to mirror somebody else. You may have to pretend that you're somebody else until you become somebody else.
That's how you got what you're being right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Yeah,
just if you got a good thing going, start expanding on it. Think only on things that are lovely and of good report. And that magic word in there, think only. only on things lovely and of good report. And as you think you are, it's really very simple. I mean, if as you think you are, well, why wouldn't you think wonderful, lovely, wonderful things? I mean, I know everybody says, well, yeah, maybe you don't have no problems. Hey, we're all attacked. Absolutely. We're all attacked, all of us. We all get caught up in the nonsense. You're told to be in the world, but not to be of the world. Well, to the degree you're of the world, that's the degree you're suffering.
Yeah.
Have you reached that age of reason yet? Well, then let's reason together. If as you think you are, get cracking. Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Every talk we give, it's a wake-up call for someone. Maybe the rest of us say, "Oh, that was real nice," but that's all it was.
Absolutely.
But you see, the thing of it is, when you hear it a few times, you kind of get softened on us. You're not looking at us suspiciously anymore. You're thinking, what are they talking about? See, if you know about it, everybody knows about it. I mean, they may say they don't, but no, everybody knows about it. But do you understand it?
Yeah.
See, you can think about something forever and accomplish nothing. But if you understand it, then suddenly you start accomplishing things, and you're given to understand. You're given to know first person, and that's who we're looking for. People who want to know first person. The rest of them, we can give you good ideas, but you can give good ideas most anywhere.
Yeah.
And the thing about names, that metaphysical Bible dictionary, see, they're not talking about people. They're talking about the names of people. Yeah. It is the name that you want to understand, because it's telling you what the next step is in anything you're doing. It tells you each one of those names possesses a secret.
Yeah.
And he spelled it out for you perfectly. Fillmore. We forget really, really very easy. Even what we agree with, even what we say we intend to do, but what is your intention? I mean, ask yourself, what is my intention of thinking, feeling like this? Because, well, it's because it's your world of experiencing. That's what you're looking to change, isn't it? And change is right with you this very hour. If you start a new change and you stick with it and you're faithful to it, it happens. And that was God's promises, not mine. And I'm just here as a witness to that. It is a promise, and that he will keep it for you. But you have to show up. You see, what you're to do is you're to claim a better life. Constantly be claiming a better life. Well, that's the thinking only on things that are lovely and a good report. And if you do that, you'll see a change taking place. Yeah, it's slow at first because we're really dumbasses, but it builds. Every time you turn to it builds. See, but you have to do it regularly, because if you wait a little time, then you got to start all over again. I mean, I know how many times I started over again, but it isn't how many times that you fail; it's how many times you start over again. And once you're passionate about it, that won't be a question, will it?
No, not at all. It'll be a mindset. Absolutely.
Yep. That's it. If you're going to make mindsets, make positive ones.
You said earlier about, you said, listen, when you think upon whatever, it expands. You said, now why not think upon, what's lovely and of a good report? And when we're talking about expanse, that's another word for heaven. So Mr. Lindell says, often many of us are living hell on earth, but if you want to live heaven on earth, think about what it is that you want and expand on it. That's your heaven.
If you're thinking on what you want, that is an expansion.
Yeah.
Because every time your mind shifts to that, then the world starts growing from you, not from the outside to you. See, your world is coming through you. It isn't coming to you. And how is it coming through you? Out of your own mouth. Or thinking
Yeah,
feelingly is the same thing as
it is.
talking. Actually, we're two different people. What we say outside and what we say inside, it's usually a kind of a mixture of things. But that's what you're here to straighten out. That is exactly what you're here to straighten. Think only. See, that word is really looms in there, doesn't it?
It
Think
does.
only on things that are lovely and of good report. If you're only thinking on lovely things of good report, and as you think you are, it's a it's a time for celebration.
Absolutely.
And I know I did. Yeah. Yeah. I started drinking an awful lot of Irish coffee. Yeah. No, that's just a joke. You won't need it. But it does tell you, have a little wine for your stomach's sake and your many infirmities. And I had a lot of infirmities. No, no. I cup it to two shot glasses before I go to bed. And it just, but you see, the thing of it is that what becomes at addiction is that your body gets used to what you're using.
Yeah.
And then once it get used to it, then you're like not there anymore. So you want a little stronger.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't matter what it is, if it's booze or drugs, anything, you just start and just start packing it on. And it's like the guy on TV, there's 1,000-pound sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Didn't they see it coming on? I mean, you think so? I mean, see that's what we really all do the same thing.
Yeah.
We ignore what we even say we agreed to, and then we ignore it.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't seem to make sense to me, does it to you?
We all do it.
Well, the scripture tells us not one worthy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can get over worrying about that right now. It ain't none worthy. It's all grace. But you see, to receive the grace, you have to show up. You see, you were let loose, and we told you just do it. He didn't tell you what to do. He just said do it, and you're doing it. And are you happy with it? Not well, then it's all here, man. Once you open up and see what you got, you'd wonder why you ever went to a library. It's like a fresh river flowing right through, and you're aware of it, so you're picking out. Oh wow, taking out the little fishes to have dinner, to feed on. What are you feeding on? You're feeding on something all the time. Whether you're aware of it or not, you are feeding on something mentally.
Yeah.
I mean, your eyes are seeing for you, but they're only giving you the surface flashback. You see that you're not really looking. See, that's like I've said. I have never plumbed the depth of any of these ideas that I'm sharing with you. But that's the idea. That's what I do. I'm at it every night, and I let it just as it's going through. I'm just sitting there. Wow. It's all a wow. And if it's not a wow, then you ain't thinking right, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. You're surprised by the revelations. Absolutely.
Well, and actually, you're given to know what you're doing. It's not supposed to be a surprise. If you're told as you think you are, then that means you're in charge before it happens. But you have to show up to take charge, right?
Absolutely.
See, that's you have to show up. I know you got things to do. I know you got responsibilities. But when I first really started looking for time to do the contemplation and meditation seriously, it was like finding another person who wasn't doing anything. You have so much time that you waste, just totally a waste, thinking about things that you don't even know why you're thinking about them. Why am I catch my, you got to catch yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. You got to catch yourself. And I catch myself. I'm going, hey, whoa, where are we going with this? Is it? Do we want to go there? Well, then why are we thinking about it? That's it. Stop it. Stop it. You're destroying yourself. You're denying yourself. All denial is self-denial. You say, well, I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have that. You say, your wish is my command. You don't have that. Isn't that the way it works?
That's exactly how it works. So as we're winding down, get your act together. What would you say to the listener in closing?
Hey, everybody's playing a part.
Yeah.
If you're here, if I can see you and you can see me, you're playing a part and I'm playing a part. But the only question is, did you choose the part that you're playing? Are you happy being the part you're playing? And if not, why not? You're given to do so, isn't it? Isn't that
Absolutely.
so?
That's exactly right.
That's what I have to say. Be quiet and listen.
Well, sir, it's been a pleasure.
It always is.